Hey, welcome into another episode of the Seahawkers Show with your host, Todd Fox, as we look to go 5-0 as we preview the Seahawks versus the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football. The Seahawks looking to go 5-0 for the first time in team's history. They went 4-0 for the first time since the 2013 season where they won the Super Bowl. And it was a big victory on the road last week against the Miami Dolphins, and I'll break down what needs to go right and what can't go wrong for the Seahawks to win again on this Sunday Night Football's upcoming game. But before I get into that, please like and subscribe. Tell another Seahawk fan. I'm trying to grow this thing, and your help in watching and supporting me is great, so please do that. I love you guys forever. So let's move on to the game. With all that being said, the Seahawks host the Minnesota Vikings. This is a team that Russell Wilson has never lost to, so let's hope they keep that trend going, as the Seahawks have owned the Vikings, and they seem to play them every year because they finish second. The Vikings finish second in the North, and then they play each other, and then it's just been back and forth. They played the Vikings. So this is a game that they've shut down Kirk Cousins. Again, his record on Sunday Night Football, Kirk Cousins, is terrible. So I don't think he has a win on any kind of like primetime evening, Monday night, Sunday night game via Washington Redskins when he was with them, or the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Vikings don't scare me as much as they would if we were playing them in Minnesota, and they don't scare me as much as the Miami Dolphins did in a potential trap game last week in Miami. But they do kind of scare me a bit with our secondary being so weak. My thing is, though, if you can make the Vikings one-dimensional, you can beat them and beat them straight up. The reason why the Vikings have looked good on offense the last 2 weeks is because the Titans overlooked that Dalvin Cook run. They kind of changed things up with their run game, and the run game opened up the play-action pass. And that's the thing. If Cousins is held in check in the pocket, he is not a good quarterback at all. If he's one-dimensional, I'm telling you, he's not a quarterback that can beat you with his arm. He makes mistakes. He gets happy feet. He sometimes runs when he shouldn't. He sometimes holds the ball too much. He fumbles. He throws errant passes. Now, when he gets the play-action pass, though, and he has time because people are scared about Cook and the linebackers come up and overcommit, that's when he can beat you. So that's very, very important for the Seahawks to do in this game, and that is stay home and not overcommit on screen passes or play action. And I'm very, very confident in the Seahawks to not allow Dalvin Cook, because in the last 2 games he's gotten just over 300 yards rushing. I don't think he can get over 150 against the Seahawks or even 100 yards in this game. I'm thinking the Seahawks with that number 2 run defense in the league is going to shut down Dalvin Cook, and I think at some point it will make Minnesota one-dimensional. Now let's get into what Minnesota does right and what they do wrong. So here is the preview video. I got a few clips I want to show you on the Vikings. So here's what they kind of do good. This is the first drive against the Colts a few weeks back. You'll notice the play action.
Fullback. Cook dots the eye, and once again a play fake with bootleg action. That one's caught at the 40-yard line of your screen.
Now he's accurate on the run sometimes, so it's not like he can't throw. And then here's another play right here.
An empty backfield. Cousins going for the out route. Thielen again. He's got it.
Now what that is right there is sometimes the Vikings will go empty backfield and they will have the running back on the outside. Adam Thielen just catches almost anything. You have to really play him tight. Now they do have a rookie, Jefferson. If you don't know who this dude is, do a little research, and I'll show you a couple clips of him. He's very hard to stop. Now, that's what kind of scares me in this one. I'm hoping Dunbar plays, because if they got Trey Flowers lined up on either Thielen or Jefferson, we're in for a long day, only because Trey Flowers likes to give cushions up to 10 to 15 yards like an idiot. And Cousins is not stupid, and we all know that Fitzpatrick isn't. And if Fitzpatrick is picking you apart, Cousins will do a little bit more, because I think he's better than Fitzpatrick, obviously. So, and he's more accurate. So he'll hit receivers if you give him so much cushion. Now, with Flowers playing the nickel, it's a little bit better. If you move him inside with Amadi, that kind of helps out the inside game. But as far as playing one-on-one on the outside, dude, Flowers gets lit up, and I'm hoping Dunbar is back there because he's a little more aggressive.
Boy, Thielen's so sure-handed. Well, they've got 3 of them in there now, with Ham leading the way again.
Now here's a stretch play right here, and the Vikings have an average offensive line. They don't have the offensive line they had 2 to 3 years ago, obviously, but with the threat of the pass. And right now, if you look up here, the Colts are playing the receivers as it's going to be a play action. And right here, the stretch, the offensive line opens up a nice hole, and then Cook does the rest.
For Cook, and look out. Dalvin Cook inside the 10, down to the 8.
Now here's where you can beat the Vikings. The Vikings right here are going to overcommit to the screen pass, and Seattle does do the screen pretty good. They're very creative with the screens, whether it's to wide receivers or to tight ends or Carson. Usually you go to Carson, so this will be like a Carson play right here.
Series. Here is Rivers going to Moali Cox, and the tight end always apart.
It's going to get called.
And here's another play right here where this didn't actually work in the Colts' favor in the game, but you could see the secondary, and this is what I'm going to point out over and over and over, the way the Seahawks have been scoring and the way that Russell Wilson has been on point with his passes. He should have a big game against the Vikings. I'm predicting a big game for Russell Wilson again because, look, their secondary, and I will say this about the Vikings. Look, I'm very unbiased when I'm trying to call this game down the middle. I'm trying to pull out the good stuff that they do and the bad stuff that they do, and I'll do the same thing with the Seahawks. But I'm just going to flat out say it. The secondary for the Vikings sucks, and their linebackers suck. This is where if you can pass protect like the Seahawks have been pass protecting in the first 5 games of the season, or 4 games in the season, pass protecting that good, it's going to give Russell Wilson a time to pick apart a porous secondary at best and a really overrated linebacking crew.
Well, I want to try and disrupt those routes, though.
On 1st and 10, Rivers going for the home run. T.Y.
And he dropped it. See, that should have been a sure touchdown. He got past. How many times have we seen this year where Lockett just sneaks underneath the coverage, David Moore, or behind the coverage, beating the safety, Metcalf? It's happened over and over, and those are against better secondaries, in my opinion. The Vikings have probably one of the worst that we've seen so far in this first 5 games of the season, and T.Y. Hilton beats them pretty easily, and only because maybe the sun was in his eye in this occasion did he drop the ball.
These are just too big, and those guys are too physical.
Phillip with his 9th pass of the afternoon. It's Cox. It's caught.
Again, Phillip Rivers has a noodle arm, and that was a terrible throw. But you see the separation the tight end had from the linebacking crew. On play-action passes, the Vikings are terrible in coverage. So, again, if Chris Carson is off to a good start or even a mediocre start, getting 4 yards, 5 yards a carry, like something like that where the Vikings have to start thinking about coming up and pressing on the line of scrimmage, that's going to be open all day over the middle for Russell Wilson.
Inside the 20. And Allen were in the opening drive. So he's not really been able to complete anything to him either since then.
Now you see right here, he threw that pass behind the tight end, or that was I can't see and recognize who that was because of sunlight. But right there, Cousins, if you saw in that clip, he had happy feet, threw the ball behind. That's when see right here in the game right here, it's in the third quarter. Colts are up 15-3 at the time. They're struggling. The Vikings, if you get them down, Cousins and the Vikings tend to just want to throw. They get away from what gets them in the lead. They get away from running the football. And you're barely, you should still be trying to pound the rock if you've got a good running game going. So they're creative now. This is in week 2, so I'm going back a little bit, and I'll fast forward to a couple other games to show you what they're doing now. But this is what you can do, though, when you get him down. He is the same quarterback. This doesn't change. So he does have the happy feet, and he does throw behind receivers, and he will force things like he did right here, which led to an interception.
And this is another interception off the tip. And it's Kenny Moore.
Now, this is against the Titans right here. Now, this is all freaking day if you're the Seahawks. This is all freaking day. Now, see what it is right here where it's lined up right here? The Vikings have 2 guys that are playing 5 yards off the football, watching the first down marker. You got 4 guys on the line for the Vikings, and you got 4 guys or 3 linebackers right in the middle, plus a safety creeping up. They're trying to watch Henry, the running back. Now, if the Seahawks are running the ball good with Carson, this is going to be a problem for the Vikings. Now, obviously, the tight end won't, or the fullback won't be there because the Seahawks don't really utilize a fullback. But the threat, you'll have double tight ends, 2 receivers, or you'll have 2 receivers, 1 tight end, and a receiver. And then you'll have Carson in the backfield or whoever they have. But if the Vikings creep up this close, this is going to be all day. I'm telling you, dude, Russell Wilson's going to have like another MVP throwing the football type day.
With the sunshine peeking through the windows at U.S. Bank Stadium, Tannehill taking a deep shot for Khalif Raymond, and he's got it at the 25-yard line.
Had that throw been on point, like Russell usually puts them on point right there, and there's no diving by the receiver, that's a touchdown. That Hill sucks as a corner. I'm telling you, the Vikings cornerbacks are terrible, and you could take advantage of it, and especially if you get them on one-on-one coverage, forget it. It's all day. It's just all day. You just have to put an accurate throw out there, and more than likely your receiver is going to be ahead of their corners, and you're going to beat them. So when they have to creep up like that, it's just all day.
Tannehill fires over the middle. That's John.
Again, when the running game is going, play action over the middle. You know the Seahawks have a lot of guys that you can trust tight end wise to get in the middle. You got Disley if he ever plays, and you got what is it called? Olsen. You got weapons that can go over the middle. You got Moore, you got Metcalf, and Lockett, of course, running the best routes. I mean, they could take advantage of the secondary. So even when the Vikings dropped back secondary guys and didn't bite on the fake, it was open over the middle. So they still were able to take advantage of the Vikings' porous secondary.
Smith, and down at the 22-10.
Here's what you got to avoid right here if you're the Seahawks here too. Now, Seahawks like to run a lot of these inside trap run plays out of the shotgun. Vikings like to do it too. Sometimes Cousins will fade all the way back for a play action, but here he gives to the running back again, and here's where you have to make tackles and you have to blow these blocks up, and the Titans didn't.
Cook keeps those legs moving all the way out for a first down.
Do not let the Vikings control the offensive line or the line of scrimmage. You cannot let that happen. So basically put pressure on Cousins and stop the Vikings from getting run plays, because if you allow them to dictate, they will put long drives together, and it will keep Russell Wilson off the field. And Seattle's got to control the tempo. Like every football game, that's the key to the football game. With the Seahawks having a struggling defense themselves, you got to keep their offense off the field, and you got to dictate the game to them. And if the Seahawks are able to dictate the game to the Vikings and force them to make plays or force them to have to come from behind, the Seahawks should win this game hands down. Now, it's going to be a dogfight, however, if they're trading scores.
That puts Jefferson on a linebacker inside.
Cousins completes it to Jefferson for a first.
And that's Jefferson. He's a very very good target. And Cousins is starting to fall in love with him the last 2 weeks. And he will do little curl routes right there and challenge the DBs and the linebackers. He'll take hits. And he runs good routes, and he's got sure hands. So this is going to be another receiver that Seattle's going to have to look out for. Thielen and freaking Jefferson.
Down. We talked about time of possession. They need it. They got to give this defense a rest as Cousins completes it again to Jefferson, and he nudges ahead. Has 2 catches in the opening quarter. Cook is back in there and takes the handoff from Cousins. Nice running by Cook. There he goes inside the 20, and he is gone. Touchdown.
That's what you can't allow. You can't allow those big runs like that. He got through a stretch play. The Titans were overcommitting, watching the receivers. Everyone was up. He gets to that second level, and Cook is gone. So you cannot allow him to get to the second level. Tackling is a must in this game. I know I said, I don't trust Cousins. He's not like the best quarterback and all this other stuff. But when you have the weapons he has, they can make a mediocre quarterback, which he is, much, much better and much more dangerous. So you have Cook in there. You have a good tight end, and you have 2 good receivers, plus a good play-action game. The run must be stopped to make the Vikings one-dimensional. I'm telling you, that is the biggest key to this game. If they shut down Cook, this game is over for the Vikings.
60 yards, looking for more in the.
However, if you allow this to happen.
Buying time. Cousins chased by Simmons, throws end zone for Thielen. He's got it! Touchdown!
The more time you give Cousins to throw the football, like in the pocket like that, where he's able to dance around. Obviously, look, a mediocre quarterback. The Titans had pretty good coverage on that one, but they all committed to the right side when Cook was running, and still, they had good coverage on the outside, but he can throw a good, accurate ball in the run, and you kind of want to keep him in the pocket because he gets happy feet. If he gets outside the pocket, Cousins can make a play. That's the thing that a lot of people don't know about Kirk Cousins. Although I still consider him a mediocre quarterback or slightly above, he still can make a play on the run, and that's another thing they have to watch out for.
3. of the NFL on CBS. 2nd down and 9. Cousins, pump fakes, nowhere to go. He's going to keep it himself, off to the races. Has a little bit of daylight.
And like Fitzpatrick, he is very annoying at times when you do shut down everything. He can tuck it and run for a little bit. He's not the fastest quarterback like Fitzpatrick either, but they do have good instincts when they take. No, I take that back. He doesn't really have good instincts because he fumbles a lot, but he can make plays like this, so that's another thing they have to watch out for. And I'm sure they're aware of that because they've faced Cousins the last however many years in a row.
First down. Play action. Cousins will dump it down to the fullback Ham. And Ham, who's having a big day. All right, 3rd down and 3. Let's see what they do out of the timeout. Thielen in motion. Handoff Cook up the middle. He's got the first down. Cook will get a breather on the sideline. Alexander Madison checks in. This is Madison. He's got some room. Oh, he leaps over a defender inside the 5. He jumped right over.
Vikings, what I'm showing you there is they could change up what is it called? People, and you don't think guys like Ham can get the ball. He will get the ball on a little play action, and then this guy, Madison, comes in as a backup because they don't think Cobb's going to do anything, or Cobb sits out, so it's going to be a pass. They overcommit to the pass, and then Madison gashes him on a cutback. So
over Jonathan Joseph.
And this is just dumb luck right here. Cousins just throws it. It looks like he's throwing it out of the end zone, but they do have Kyle Rudolph, and Rudolph does have height, and he has hands. So this was dumb luck pass by Cousins, and this is just a nice play by
Cousins off his back foot. Rudolph is down there. Did he get it? Yes!
All right, here's against the Texans. I got a couple more plays. There's almost enough Viking crap, so I'm sorry if I'm boring you on the Vikings, but this is a breakdown of the Vikings. This is what, again, some of the things they do right.
Cousins with time and open. Across midfield is Adam Thielen. Greg Jennings, Chris Myers from Houston. In the pocket, he is going to get sacked at a flag.
Okay, so that play action pass, again, if you're giving a quarterback that amount of time to throw the football, he will kill you. I don't care who he is. This play where he gets sacked, again, keep him in the pocket, happy feet, goes down. Cousins is always on the move. He's more happy when he's going play action, rolling out of the pocket, not within that proverbial pocket. When he's in that pocket, he's very indecisive, doesn't throw the ball fast, sometimes holds it too long, and then with the happy feet, doesn't throw with his feet on the ground firmly planted, and those where the errant passes come. So if you can pressure Cousins, he will make a lot of mistakes, trust me.
Flies, Whitney merciless for the half, was checked on and is out remainder of the game. Pass is caught, getting up near the 40.
That's there all day, too, the slant.
Yard line. So do you go for a big play here, or do you just get the first down?
Here's what Seattle can do, too. They've run the option before, too. If you run against the Vikings vertically, you can succeed.
Watson on a pitch to Johnson, and it's David Johnson down the sideline. Inside the 25 of Minnesota.
No, you run speed option
for Harris.
Then the threat of the run opens this up.
Harrison Smith in that secondary. Do they try and take advantage? Pass is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Will Fuller.
Now here's the Seahawks game. And again, right here, what I showed you last week with the highlights of this game. Putting pressure. So imagine right here, this is Cousins right here. Keeping him in the pocket, you put pressure on him, he throws passes like this.
Jakeem Grant came in the game and goes in motion and going downfield, and the pass is going to be intercepted, picked off by Ryan Neal. 2nd down and 5.
This is just all day right here against the Vikings secondary.
Wilson will go to the air again, going deep, and this pass is going to be caught by Metcalf.
Tell me, who's going to stop Metcalf?
And Metcalf has it inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
I'm predicting him and either Lockett or Moore are going to have huge games. So I'm already chalk it up for Metcalf to have a big game, but it's either Moore or Lockett are also going to follow it up with a big game. And this is all day, too, what Seattle can do against the Vikings, just inside handoffs.
And it's Carson for the touchdown. Chris Carson, 3rd down and 11.
Here's what they can't do. When you're dictating a game, I highlighted this too, or on the last video when you have great protection like you're going to see on this play. and I think the Vikings have a better pass rush, so they might get a little closer than what the Dolphins did against Seattle last week. But I still think that Russell should have a lot of time in this game. And even though Dwayne Brown's always on the freaking injured list, which I'll show you, I'll go down the injured list when we're done here. But check this out right here. This play really pissed me off. There was 2 plays in the game that just like drove me nuts because I felt that the Seahawks could have just blown out the Dolphins with 2 plays that could have extended drives and took points off that the Dolphins would drive down and kick field goals. But this one right here, you cannot afford against the Vikings with their weapons to keep them on the field or to stop your own drive. Because right here, this stopped their own drive. If Metcalf catches this cleanly and doesn't worry about the hit, he holds onto the ball. This is a big gain, first down, and it's another punch in the guts to that Dolphin defense, which was already tired at this point, almost the whole way through the first quarter.
Dolphins looking for a stop here. And plenty of time for Wilson. He has all day to get rid of this one, and the pass is going to be dropped. Incomplete.
That was a huge 3rd 11 that would have picked up over 20 yards, would have gave him the first down. That was a tough play right here. Now here's where you have to now here's where Seattle actually got lucky. You'll see them overcommit on the screen. Again, recognize, player recognition, be smart on the field. Do not let them dictate things. So again, if the Dolphins try to run it, or the Vikings try to run a screen, make sure you fade back. You don't have to hit the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And right here, they were very lucky that Ryan Neal was the only one smart way back here that read the play, because this play had big play capability. If Neal is blocked at all and he takes himself out of the play at all, this is a touchdown. But look, he saves the play even though Seahawks overcommitted.
Out for the season. 3rd down and 13. And here is the screen pass, and Gaskin gets hit as the ball.
He had 3 lead blockers, and he just lit the play up. He beat the blockers down here. So you had 7 guys coming after Fitzpatrick. He likely has the corner and the end zone. So big play right there by Neal.
All arrived by Ryan. They have their offenses in tow.
And here's what you can't do again. The Vikings will take these plays all day just like the Seahawks will. If you're playing zone and you're going to let the running back just go 4 yards, turn around, they'll throw that pass, and they'll throw that pass to the tight end just like we will. The thing is, you can't do is do what Barton did right here. This is a terrible tackle, dude. And if Wagner had been playing here or KJ Wright, this is a tackle. But Barton shows you what the Seahawks can't do. I don't care who you're named, you cannot try to tackle like this, because on plays like this where you're giving them 3 to 4 yards, hold them to 3 to 4 yards. Do not allow this to happen.
There's a pass underneath to Matt Breida. Breida breaks a tackle, and Breida will get a first down.
So you go from giving up 4 yards maybe at max to 13. That's not good. So on plays like that, you have to be more committed, make the tackle, tear the guy down, do a gator roll, whatever you got to do. Do not just twist him and expect him to fall down. Now, I know that's not the narrative that happens all the time. I know the Seahawks tackling wives have been pretty good, but I'm just overstating that to say, again, the Vikings are elusive guys. They've got, you got guys that could run. So if you miss a tackle or two, they can get into the second part of your defense or even beyond that, and then you're in trouble. But here's, again, Seattle, what they can do to that Vikings defense.
Carson up the middle. Good game. Carson with a first down and a good juke.
I believe that's going to be there all day. I think they're going to be able to run and mix it up and really tire out that Vikings defense.
As well. It's always a consideration, I hear.
And this is open right here. If you see right here, right here, you actually had some players that faded back, right? You had the linebacker here, but Lockett's speed, if he can come across with a corner, but you had all these guys come over here, overcommit on the play action. And that's what Seattle does. That's what the Vikings do too. So that's what the Seahawks have to emulate what Russell Wilson does with those kind of long play action passes, because the Vikings will do the same thing. However, Kirk Cousins doesn't have the arm that Wilson does. Kirk Cousins will play action out this way and throw up to that side that he's rolling out to. He won't go across the field, which is what normal quarterbacks not named Russell Wilson or Pat Mahomes or even Lamar Jackson, they can make throws like this back across the field, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
Play action, and Wilson with a great touch completes the pass to Tyler Lockett.
I mean, there's literally no defense for that. I mean, literally no defense. If he's able to get it back across the field and Wilson has that good of eyes to look down and have that time, forget it. He's going to torch that defense.
So Lockett.
Then right here is just another simple play right here where I think this is the run. No, this is the pass. Okay, this is just underneath.
Wilson up the middle, and it's Dallas. First down for.
Same thing I said with Seattle, or the Vikings will give them those little over the middle plays, and it's the yards after the catch. And if they could break a tackle like Berea did against the Seahawks, or like Dallas did against DJ Dallas did against the Dolphins right there, turn a 2 to 3 yard pass into an 11-yard catch, the Vikings again are in trouble. And then this is what Russell Wilson doesn't do, which isn't on the stat sheet or anything else like that. He will catch you napping. He's done this in all 4 games so far. And if the tempo's going the way he feels it's going to go, he will rush everyone to the field, so you cannot make substitutions. You might have to call a timeout. You might have 12 men on the field like the Dolphins did here.
The Miami trying to make defensive changes quickly. And Russell Wilson going for the end zone. And the pass is caught for the touchdown.
So David Moore right there makes a nice touchdown catch. He caught him sleeping. There was a flag on the play. There was 12 men on the field for the Dolphins at the time. I think he's so good at reading the game's tempo. See, Kirk Cousins is more of your traditional quarterback. He's got to be more tempo. He's got to get a feel of the game. Russell Wilson can make the feel of the game. He can force the tempo, and that's what's so special about him. So with all that said and the breakdown of this game so far, give me the Seahawks to win this game 35-22. I think the Vikings will score some points, but I think the Seahawks maybe, either the Vikings are going to get some at the end or they're going to get some in the beginning and the Seahawks will start to shut them down. I really like the Seahawks defense's, approach to this game, and I think they're getting better in the last couple weeks. Like I said, there's nowhere to go but up as far as the secondary. I think the run defense is on point, and they have to really establish that. As long as the Seahawks stop the Vikings' run and limit the play action, don't fall for the play action, they've got a great chance of winning this game because offensively, I know they're going to put up points. I'm not scared of that Vikings defense at all. So give me the Seahawks to win this game to go 5-0 going into that bye. I really feel that they need this bye super bad because not only just injuries, but to regroup and try to change up the defense and have a little more time to try new things once they're out of the bye, especially that they're going to start playing division teams right after the bye, like the Arizona Cardinals and the Santa Clara 49ers. And yes, I said Santa Clara. The do not participate in the players that won't be playing on Sunday is Jamal Adams, Nico Thorpe, Lano Hill, and Jordan Brooks, unfortunately. You had limited participation always from the same players, and that is Shaquem Griffin with the shoulder, Will Dissly with the Achilles, and then you had Bobby Wagner and Dwayne Brown with the knee. He's always messed up there. Quentin Dunbar is a maybe for this weekend's game. I'm hoping he can play, but he's a maybe with that knee again. And then the Vikings have Eric Kendricks is probably not going to play. KJ Osborne, whoever the hell that is. Colton Hill will not play, and he's terrible. We showed him getting beat earlier. Limited participation is the tackle, but he'll likely play because that's just a finger, and Chris Boyd, the hamstring. So in this game, again, Seattle, let me see if I can get to the weather report on that one for well, now you don't need it. You guys know what the weather is up there. It's either rainy, cold and misty, whatever. I just like the Seahawks in this game. I was kind of scared of that Dolphins trap game, but I think in going into, Pete Carroll doesn't want to go into a bye losing. And going into a bye 5-0 with, looking a lot better than you thought coming into the season would be a huge accomplishment for the Seahawks. So I'm not saying that this is going to be a pushover at all. I know the Vikings are going to give them crap at times, but I'm just thinking Seattle pulls away in the end to just to secure the victory. I just don't see the Vikings stopping the Seahawks on offense. So that's my video. If you like it, please hit the like and subscribe button and give me your thoughts. Let me know what your scores are for the game. So until then, this is the Seahawkers Show. I am Todd Fox. Have a great rest of your week, even though it's Friday, and enjoy the Seahawks game against the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. And most importantly, go Hawks.